Hello, everyone, and welcome to part 3 of our video lesson 2, Teaching Techniques, Teaching Large Groups. I'm Vanusa Palacio, and it's such a wonderful feeling to be back here to share some more information with you guys. Well, let's just take from where we started or from where it stopped, okay? In the first session, I give you an overview of the course, and I also talked about the different approaches to teaching large groups, which could be or can be either teacher-centered or student-centered. Our choice here at the Plataforma Bilingue is to lead a more teacher-centered lesson in order to address large groups. We also talked about in our second session the pros and cons of teaching large groups. And we had the opportunity of understanding or of realizing that large groups, teaching large groups can be positive and can bring about positive results and develop other skills such as, for example, collaboration, right? Empathy, interaction, and so on and so forth. In this third part of our video lesson, we'll be talking about the main challenges of teaching large groups, and I'll be offering you a general solution to them, okay? Well, as I said, in the second part of our video lesson, we talked about the pros and cons of teaching large groups. And among the cons, we had intimacy, anxiety, student needs, marking, distractions, noise level, monitoring, space, books, and resources. But out of all these cons we may have when teach large groups, we can summarize the major issues or the major challenges by saying that the biggest problems we may have when teaching large groups are related to classroom management, discipline, organization, seat arrangement, right? And so on and so forth. Participation. We want our students, we want all of our students to participate evenly and to learn evenly as well. And interaction. So as we have a large group of students, we want them not only to interact with us teachers, but to interact with one another and exchange information, life experiences, understanding of things, and so on and so forth. Okay? Well, having said that, let's break down these three major challenges into these 5 ones here. Our main challenges when teaching large groups in terms of actions and procedures are keeping students interested, keeping students engaged, keeping students' attention, ensuring that all students have equal opportunities to participate throughout the lessons, and ensuring all students interact with one another. And when we want them to be interested, engaged, attentive, participating, and interacting, what we're saying is that we need to move away from passive learning into active learning every now and then in our lessons. We know that there are moments in our lesson when we need to lecture, we need to present, right? We need to be at the front. But for most of our lessons, what we need, what we want, and what students want is to be actively doing things, to be actively experimenting with the content or with the language, with what we propose as a subject to be learned in that specific lesson. Okay, so what do we mean by active learning? Active learning is any learning activity in which the student participates or interacts with the learning process as opposed to passively taking in the information. When given the opportunity to actively engage with the information they are learning, students perform better. That's it. So we only learn when we participate, when we engage, when we interact with the learning process, with the object of learning, with what we are learning, right? Unless that happens, unless we give students the opportunity to do so, we won't be able to achieve our goals, which is to have our students speak, to have our students produce, and so on and so forth. Okay? Well, and how can we basically and generally speaking promote active learning? We promote active learning by activating prior knowledge, by elaborating and structuring knowledge to students, by contextualizing information, by offering students interesting and fun activities, and by offering students the opportunity of applying and using knowledge. Okay, well, beautifully said, beautifully put. Theory is wonderful, but how can we put all of this or all of these ideas, all of these beautiful active learning ideas into practice? That's what we'll be seeing in our next sessions when we'll be talking about different strategies and techniques to achieve active learning and to approach our large groups through active learning. Okay, so in our next session or next video, we'll be talking about techniques related to our educação infantil and anos iniciais. And in the following video, we'll be talking about techniques related to anos finais and ensino médio. All right? So I'll be seeing you in our next video. Bye.